So welcome back to Morocco Method International, where natural things happen. And today we want to talk about Spring Equinox, the power of spring. We want to talk about the rituals of spring, and of course, detoxing. So spring, what does spring represent for the hair and scalp and the roots and the whole growth patterns? Is that spring represents the soil on planet Earth that we're a part of. And we're going to cultivate that soil. We're going to get that soil enriched. We're basically going to do whatever we need to do to turn it over, to aerate it, to get it to have a lot more minerals and to feed it. So that's what Spring Equinox represents, preparing the soil. And then I teach in my Qigong class about the seed. So we're pondering what the seed means to us today, right now. What's happening in our life, what's happening in our world, what's happening in our universe. There's situations, there's relationships, there's all these different challenges. And that is what we're going to basically ponder upon the seed. And then in the summer, we're going to go ahead and plant the seed. But for now, spring represents preparing the soil for our hair and for our scalp, for our root patterns, for our sebaceous glands, for all of the hair follicles. So the lunar hair cycle, the dates is the strongest dates of the whole year. So the spring equinox dates are quite different than the actual spring equinox calendar date. So the date that I've charted for this year is March 19th. What that means is you can be cutting your hair on March 19th or even March 20th. We could start on March 9th, 10th, or 11th, preparing. You could even cut your hair then. But then on March 19th is the strongest date of the whole year. So for some folks who want to shave their head, I suggest they wait until March 19th. And that's the ultimate ritual, shaving the head. Or cutting the hair as short as one can really go for. So for me, my thinness goes into the hairline and the crown chakra. And some years are thicker than others. So I will cut my hair on March 19th, the shortest possible. So that means the hairline will get cut really short, the top will get cut really short, and the crown will be cut the shortest. That's the thinnest part of where my thinning is, because the scalp is so thin on the top of the head, and it gets thicker, and then in the nape is the thickest. So from the ears up, we want to cut our hair as short as possible. And if you're planning on, like I said, doing shaving the head, then that would be the ultimate day. And then you should do a ritual around that. Really contemplate what that means. What are we shedding? What are we giving up? What are we preparing the soil for? What are we looking forward in the future? What's in our past that really has to go? So those types of things can be shaving, removing. So when I turned 50, when I was in Honduras working with a hair shaman, I shaved my head in a baptism. And then the hair shaman basically took me into the ocean and baptized me on my 50th on Spring Equinox. So that was my ultimate ritual. So now being a hair shaman, I'm sharing this with you. Detoxing, whatever goes in needs to come out. So we have to look at that for the spring. When we're cultivating, what are we doing? Try doing the Zen detox. It's a perfect time of the year to get out the debris, to get out the buildup, to start pulling out the toxin, the heavy metals. I can actually feel and sense that my thinking is so much clearer after doing a Zen detox. So then, of course, cutting the hair or shaving the scalp on March 19th or the 20th or whatever date you look at. It could be the 9th, 10th, or the 11th. 19th being the ultimate date, and it can spill over to the 20th. So wet hair, you can cut your hair yourself, as you can look at our how-to videos, how to cut your own hair. And you just simply want to take the ends and blunt them with a scissors. Wet hair, blunt, scissors. You can cut off as much as 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, or an inch, Or this would be the time where if you have a lot of split ends and dead ends, cut them all off as long, as short as you possibly can. So, with that brought about with our intention, with our awareness, let's go ahead and create this soil, getting it cultivated, getting it ready for the spring, cultivating that all through March, April, May, and then in June, we will do another ritual with summer. Until then, our health is our wealth.